Hi, this is Monty from Mopar Vehicles, and here's another one of our detailed vehicle appraisals on a car that's just recently come into us. Now this is our 1.2 Corsa. It's the SXI version, so slightly sportier kind of seats, alloy wheels, front fog lamps, etc., that type of thing. It's done just over 85,000 miles. Really good history of the car. 7 service stamps already in the book. Long MOT left on the car. No advisories on the current MOT. I mean, please feel free. I mean, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk around the car just briefly and then give you a more detailed view very shortly. Now, I'll hold the camera by the registration number in a short while. Then you can do all your checks you need to do on the vehicle. Now, the reasons we tend to do these videos, it's all about trust, honesty, integrity. You do get a few dealers that have started doing these videos now. They sort of give you a 1-minute look around the car, whiz round. There's no one talking over it. Unfortunately, these tend to last about 8 to 10 minutes long, but I try and give you as much detail as I possibly can. So whether you're 3 miles away or 300 miles away, when you come to have a look at the car, it should be as I've described. Now, we are all human. I don't purposely miss anything out. I mean, please read my reviews on Auto Trader. They are all genuine, verified purchases. You know, I try and be as honest as I possibly can. Now, I'm going to hold the camera here for a little while, just a few seconds, while you jot down the registration number. Again, do any previous MOT checks you need to do on the car. It's absolutely fantastic history. As I mentioned, 7 service stamps in the book as well. Now, condition-wise of this car, you know, it's a 2009 59. It is a lovely looking car, and whoever's going to buy this is going to, you know, they're going to be absolutely lucky to have this car, because there's a lot of these Corsas around. A lot of them tend to get bashed up, etc., loads of dents, scuffs, because they tend to be young drivers that will tend to buy these. But this is in fantastic condition. I'll tell you all the good things, all the bad things about the cars. You know, if you are looking at 1.2 Corsas, you need to double check these cars from cold. Okay, they do suffer if they haven't been had regular oil changes, good quality oil. They do suffer from timing chain rattles. This car does not suffer from anything like that. So if you come and have a look at this car from cold, we'll start it up for you. There'll be no rattles whatsoever. So if you are, you know, investing in one of these cars, don't go to a dealer who's already warmed the car up for you. That is definitely a no-no. All right. So briefly going around. I'll tend to start from the driver's side front, and I'll go through the whole car with you. Now, I mentioned it's got 85,500 miles. Please, this car isn't brand spanking new, even though it is in fantastic condition. There's going to be a few little chips here and there that have been touched up, but believe you me, it is a lovely car. Anyway, oh, just to mention, the previous owner owned it from 2010, so they've owned it for the last 8 years, and I think it was registered to the dealer, or an associated company to the dealer that actually sold this car, which was Caffins. Right, so you've got Hankook tyres all the way around with plenty of tread. There will be pictures of the tread with all the advert when it goes on there. Plenty of tyre tread. There's approximately 6mm on the front and 7 on the back, so it's had new tyres recently. Now, the only negative thing I'd probably say about the car, it's got a couple of little scuffs on the alloy wheels. We've touched them up. We're not going to make them brand new. It's not the type of car that will tend to spend hundreds and hundreds of pounds getting all the alloy wheels refurbished. But there's a few scuffs on the alloy wheels, but they have been touched up. Now I'll tend to pan down. Now I am in a park, so I do apologise if you see people walking past. I'm going to try and move the camera really slowly. Hopefully you can try and pick up some reflections. But it all looks fantastic, really. Very hard to you know, pick loads of holes in the car or anything like that. Okay, now you've got a couple of little stone chips that are on the edge of the driver's door. They have been touched up. Again, you're not going to see them, but there's a couple of little stone chips along here, but they've been touched up already. Let's just go around the back of the car as well. Okay, now hopefully if I hold the camera still enough, you can probably try and pick up the reflections. There's no dulling of paint, nothing like that at all. Now, apart from the alloy wheels, there's a tiny little chip along here that has been touched up. I think it's obviously at one sort of stage might have started to develop into a tiny little bit of rust, and it's been touched up. On top of that, we're not painting rear wings or anything like that. You'll tend to find a lot of Vauxhalls around this sort of age, especially Corsas, along the leading edge of the bonnet, tend to be all really rotten and rusty and God knows what else. Okay, and that's from the outside. If you'll have a look on the outside, they tend to be really, really rotten. So, alloy wheels at the back all look really good. A couple of little scuffs that are on here, but they've all been touched up. I mentioned tyres, lots and lots of tread on the tyres. Now it's really nice on the SXI. I do like the way they sort of tint the back lights. You've got a really nice black tint to them, and also the privacy glass on the back. So I don't know if you can pick it up. If I scan back, you can probably see the back windows are tinted. Right, let's get on with this because we're up to nearly 6 minutes. So everything inside door panels all looks really good. There's no wearing of any stitching or anything like that. No tearing. Interior looks lovely. This really nice black and grey with the contrasting red stitching. Hopefully you can try and pick up the passenger side as well. Might be something where the windows are open. They're probably bits in the trees that have just dropped onto there. Apologies. And then you've got your multi-function steering wheel for volume, etc. Changing the bits and pieces on the radio. And also to switch it over from auxiliary, so you can plug in your MP3 or your iPhone using the MP3. Now that's all the centre console there. Now this car doesn't have air conditioning. It was an optional extra to have air conditioning. Believe you or me, there's a lot of dealers out there that tick the air conditioning box. When you actually click in to have a look at the picture, they don't have air conditioning. Okay, two electric window switches, and then one's for your mirrors. And believe me, when you have these cars with air conditioning, they have like 80 horsepower out of them. As soon as you put the air conditioning on, you struggle to get up hills and things like that. It is a real struggle. So let's just go in the boot. All looks lovely in here, really nice and clean. You get your parcel shelf. Lovely condition in here. And then you've got your spare wheel, which has never been used. Absolutely never been used. And it's still a Continental tyre, I think, that's on there. Okay, let's just close the boot. So everything along the back bumper now did have a couple of little scuffs along, not scuffs, little chips that have been touched up, but again, you won't see them. And it is an 8-year-old car, so it's not going to be brand new. Okay, let's go around the back. I think there was a tiny little chip around here, which I've touched up. Again, alloy wheels, tyres, lots of tread on the tyres. Alloy wheel, got a couple of little scuffs on here again. Now this is going to be the worst side, really. It's the side that's going to be closest to the curb. That's the ones that will tend to take a few of the sort of brunt of the parking. But again, chances are little youngsters going to own this car, learn it first car, that type of thing, and they're going to get a few little scuffs here and there. So let me just show you the passenger side. Hopefully, again, if I move the camera really slowly, you can pick up there's no dents, there's no gouges, there's nothing like that at all. This car has genuinely been cherished and looked after by the previous owner. Okay, now when you see some pictures of it inside the engine bay, we do not jet wash any engine bays whatsoever. A little bit of WD-40, a bit of a, you know, sort of elbow grease, and it's nice and clean. Okay, again, bits of the trees falling down in here. So again, looking inside, you'll see loads of pictures. I'll tend to put as many pictures as I possibly can. Interior looks lovely. Show you the back of it as well. Just got a bit of sun glaring through there, but again, that looks fantastic. You will not be disappointed when you come and have a look at this car. Let's just scoot round the front of it. Again, let's just show you the alloy wheels. Now, as I mentioned to you, the passenger side front wheel tend to be the worst. We've got a few little scuffs here and there, but they've been touched up. We're not painting wheels on the car. It doesn't warrant it, really. Okay, looking down the side, hopefully you can pick up. It's all really nice and bright. And again, the front of the car looks fantastic. A few little stone chips here and there that have been touched up, but nothing major, sort of 2 or 3 on the bonnet. but it's to be expected. Car's done 85,500 miles. Okay, so we're coming up to about 10 minutes now, so I just wanted to thank you very much for your time. If this car you're interested in or anything else at Mopar Vehicles, please don't hesitate to give us a call. Thank you.